Can you hear me? Hey Charles, I gotta tell you something. I think I fixed something.
Woo! What's up, everybody?
Oh,
Good
before
evening, good
I'm
morning.
sorry. I was gonna say I mute myself. Before you start, if you open the player, I fixed
Mm-hmm.
the problem. Let's see. Cross my fingers. Let's check.
Can't hear it yet.
You serious? You can't.
Yeah.
Damn it. Oh
Oh
shit.
yeah.
I hate. Oh, you know what? 'Cause I said share it, but it's supposed to share with the audio. I don't know why it's not doing
Oh.
it.
Oh.
I'm
So
on Google.
how's everybody doing tonight?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
Good morning, good evening, depending on where you are in this planet.
Mm-hmm.
My partner in crime fighting is the Chaotic One, the chief engineer, Chaos Rain himself. Please like, share, subscribe to
Yeah.
his channel. He gives you a lot of very in-depth documentary
Mm-hmm.
stories. I will be your host for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
The Invincible Man of Steel, the Suntan Superman. Oh, a little bit of background. I
Can you hear it
am
now, or is my voice here?
just your voice, and
Pull up
I
the tape one more time to make sure if it's not working, I'm just gonna leave it alone.
let's try this one more time.
It's probably not playing because you're not hearing it.
No, is it a connection? I don't know. It might be a connection thing. I am your officer, the goddamn law, Charles Faulkner Jr. Woo! Tonight we shall have a Q&A open panel. Questions will be answered. Maybe some new questions will begin. So, I've noticed that, last week I was supposed to have my next conference with law enforcement, but, some personal things have happened. So, I will let you all know the next time we have literally Foxtrot flying overhead. I gotta love it.
No icon, Charles. Unless you have an
Huh?
icon. Your icon's not showing. That's all you know.
My icon's not showing?
Uh, I see right here.
What?
Yeah.
It should be showing.
Let me check my other. Oh well, Charles, get it fixed. Please like the stream, contribute to the stream.
Yes, please like, share, subscribe, donate if you incline. Yes, today, please let the fine folks watching today. What are we going to be doing?
Well, today, this is Q&A, and we're gonna deal with some cop questions, resolutions, solutions. If any. I'm gonna play the actual clip that's gone actually viral on IG. It got like 13,000 hits right now, and this is in the state of Connecticut. But first, let me just check your end, Charles, to make sure your icon is showing. You said it's showing, so let me just look, make sure.
Ooh.
Yeah, let me just look. It's gonna look right now. Okay, let me look right now. So you said it's showing, so let me just look. Yeah, it's not showing, but don't worry, you'll fix it eventually. So let me show that right now. Where is it? I'm trying to find it now. Where the hell? Oh, this is the one. All right, let me and mind you, we're on Google Chrome, so we gotta see how effective this is. All right. All right, good. So I'm gonna share my screen now. And mind you, this is educational. All right. I'm gonna turn the volume down a little bit. Whenever you're ready, Charles, you can share the screen.
Sharing the screen now.
Now, I'm not sure from the one at IG is different from this one. This is 12 minutes long. So if you want to stop during any time, you could do that. I want to go through 12 minutes if I see it here. If not, I'll pull up the IG to what's not shown. But it's going to be educated to a point. For people that have questions, they could, ask it during the chat. So here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Can you hear it?
No.
This fucking. All right, let me use my laptop. I'm gonna jump on, come back, man.
That's cool.
This is some bullshit, man.
So Chaos comes back ready. Do we have any questions that can we answer? Officer Charles, have you experienced racism from other cops? Towards me personally, no. At least not overt, anyway. Have I experienced favoritism? Hell yeah. Have I experienced sexism? Hell yeah. But racism, no. I'm starting to really believe a lot of the races. Have I seen it towards other officers? Yes. I've seen one incident where a white sergeant and a white officer put like a black voodoo doll in a Caribbean officer's folder on his desk. And that was uncalled for and racist in my book. But towards me, no. I believe wholeheartedly, people who do racist acts do it because they could get away with it with the right person. Me, it would have been hell to pay. And I would have been either promoted a lot or I'd have been a rich motherfucker. And somebody's ass probably would have been kicked. Racism from another black cop? No. For the most part, you have a lot of black cops who are tight, but when it comes to racism, no. They must be doing some good damn patrols around here. Ugh. They must have had some damn good patrols. But when you look at racism, it's not going to be that old boy shit. It's going to be some covert things that hard to pinpoint, I'll say. I think it's more so where you had places like Vanguard where a lot of black officers were not being hired. A lot of black people weren't being hired for the position a while back, and a lot of black officers were not promoted to the rank of sergeant, lieutenant, and above. So that's why you have to support places like your Vanguard and other black fraternal orders of police. What about black people disrespect your blackness because you're a cop? Oh boy, get out of my brain. It's not as frequent, but I've had it.
Hey, can I say something quickly? I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Vision.
No, I'm gonna say this and I gotta hop off because it's late. Regarding police, what do you think about this? Like, this is something I've been thinking about for a while because, like, even up here in Canada, sometimes there's misunderstandings, right? Predominantly with like white police officers and young black men. And so what I was thinking is, pay the police is a dangerous job. Sometimes they have to go into I'm preaching to the choir, so never mind. But it is a dangerous job. I'm thinking pay them $200,000, but raise the what's the word I'm looking for? Raise the criteria to become a police officer, right? Like, you have to be almost a social worker. You have to understand mental health, because mental health is a big thing now when in the past it wasn't. And these guys have to be seriously trained, like train them well, almost like military style, which our MOT has spoken on in this space. But that's what I think. I think pay them, but raise the criteria for the kind of police officers you're going to get. Like, like I know this is not a good example, but not anybody can get a PhD, let's say in astrophysics, right? You have to basically meet the criteria. And I think you need to raise it for police officers. 200,000, no problem, dangerous job, but basically well trained, social work, mental health, you got it all down. So that's my idea. Yeah,
Well,
and then
to answer that, a lot of us are trained. It's one of the criteria to get out the academy for mental health. That's why we can emergency petition, or as we call it, EP, a person to be emergency evaluated for their mental health. When we observe certain behaviors, have this person been taking their medication, we get the witnesses. So you have what's called in Baltimore Police Department the best officers for behavioral crisis, which we call it now. So we have the trained personnel, and the criteria for police, it's going to be a borderline criteria, because if you raise it so high, you won't have enough officers. Should it be raised a little bit more? It's up for debate. It depends on the crop of people you get. And most times when you have issues between black males and white officers, you got to look at it. There's many times people hate to say it. Oh, somebody got some background.
Oh,
But
good. Okay.
some people got some
I'm muted. It's not me. Sorry.
oh, that's cool. Some people don't realize what cultural differences will produce. Number one, if you have your men in a gynocratic state, they're going to be emotional. They're not going to be as logical as other men. I hate it. People can debate me about it, but they're not, because you're not held up against other men directly. And that's one of the issues in the black community. When you send black men out there, why are they not competitive as the other men? Due to the fact the women or the mothers do not see their boys as men. They see them as property or somebody to protect me on my behalf.
Or protect me, or when needed, if I fuck up.
Exactly.
I also want to say this. Sorry, I'm sorry for interrupting. I don't think the police should be defunded. So the fact that I'm saying pay 200,000, no, don't defund it. Sorry, continue.
So what happens is you get what's called a disconnect of culture, where if you were raised to uphold masculine values like we should, you would be more logical. You would just do everything to make the process faster. Okay, officer, here's my ID. Okay, give me the ticket. Okay, keep your hands at 9 and 3, and you would get out of there. Now, if somebody's doing something disrespectful, you can respectfully, you can legally record with your cell phone or whatever device you have, and you can request a supervisor. You could even call 911 and say, I request a supervisor on scene. But what happens, because black men always are looking for their respect, they gotta, why the fuck? And I'm like, look, bruh, I will tell anybody, that scene is not for you to argue your case, because what you're gonna do, you're gonna lose. Be smart and be logical in arguing in a court of law. But to answer this other question, when it comes to defunding the police, what about black people disrespecting your blackness? Oh yeah, it's happened several times. Oh, you feel good being around the white man. No, the white man feels good about being around me. Okay? I don't hold myself to no white man because I can outdo them. I've done it many of times, and I'll keep on doing it if I live 1,000 years from now. For some reason, black men think that if you throw white guy in my face, I'm supposed to run, hide, and scared. If white men couldn't keep up with me in a fucking theater of war, such as the Iraqi war, then what the fuck you think they're gonna do when I'm CONUS, which means in the continental United States? They can't compete. You had to literally make laws for me not to compete against you. You had to boycott my economic stimulus for me not to compete against you. And what happened? We still and still have people who surpassed you. So no white officer, no black officer, no Asian officer, nobody can compete against a black officer and think they're gonna just run roughshod unless you forge the shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, defunding the police, I will say this, and it's no personal thing to anybody. I think it's one of the stupidest terms ever created.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that some mayor somewhere will actually defund their law enforcement agency? Get completely the fuck out of here.
In a city.
In a city like a Baltimore, like a New York, like a Dade County, like a Los Angeles, like a Detroit, like a Chicago,
and also
like a
St. Louis is the top now in violence now.
Like a St. Louis, like a Minneapolis. You really think they are gonna literally defund their military, their paramilitary? Because you got to remember, it's a paramilitary organization. Where do you think we get our ring structure from? Where do you think we get a lot of our credence from? So, when you have this thing called defund the police, where the fuck you think the money gonna go? Education? Oh man,
Bro,
I'm gonna tell you.
That man.
Look at my boy. Look at my boy. That's like my nephew right there, Avery Vice. Shout out to my boy Avery. I forget, but trust me, if you want to get in shape and you want a good workout, whether if you're in the gym, home or not, hit my boy Avery Vice up. Shit, let's get him up to 1,000 subscribers. I gotta have him on the show. You know, when I talk about black people, health, and fitness, which is one of the main criterias, you think the police are kicking our ass? Check your fucking cholesterol. That's kicking your ass. Check your hypertension. That's kicking your ass. Check your goddamn weight. That's kicking your ass.
Your ass, man. And, you know, the worst thing of all that, you know, you can't get it up. That's me know you're about to meet your end. Deficit.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? Hello?
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm hearing echo.
I don't think it's me.
Oh, stop now. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Did you? What's the world? No, the World Star Hip Hop. Don't tell me you found a video, bro, Dingus. Don't tell me you found a video.
What you found?
I don't know if you found my video when I was on World Star.
Put it in the chat. Make sure you guys tune.
Oh my God.
Gentlemen, let me add this point. What was I going to try to say? I lost my train of thought. Yeah, defunding the police is not a good idea. Like, can you imagine a society where there's no police involved? Just the amount of nonsense that will go on.
Do you know what? Do you know what would happen if we took the police out? If we disbanded the police everywhere, you would have anarchy. Yes. And then during that time of anarchy, the men. Once again, the men will come up and say, "Hey, we need to put a cap on this shit," and they will patrol around like the police, creating laws or something or commandments or whatever you want to call them, and keeping people as civilly peaceful as possible.
I want to say that BLM has been the one that's been pushing defunding the police. They need to be careful with that, since that institution is basically run by females, black females, and.
Let me tell you something. What Black Lives. Let me tell you what Black Lives really is. Is a homosexual organization.
That's what I'm going to say.
And let me tell you something. If they push it, that tells you a bigger Caucasoid, which is them, telling them in their heads pushing that agenda. Because we all know once you defund something, that means now it cannot sustain itself and it's crippled inside. And what happens crippled? That means now you come in and say, now I can bring in the real agenda, which wherever that is, and now I can easily oppress you more since the police are no longer here.
Yeah, think about it. If you don't have the police, who's going to come in? Usually it's going to be the state police or another county is going to absorb it. So you're going to have people who live in a different town with their laws, which does not culturally affect yours. And how many state police? Matter of fact, in Maryland, the state police really don't come to Baltimore. They're kind of not allowed without permission or a special investigation. So, you're going to have a lot. You think you having trouble with police now when you get some of them Carroll County, and people from out there, not saying all the cops from Carroll County are bad. No, they're not. But when you thinking about a culture shock from Carroll County to Baltimore City, come on now. And you got state police who are not used to metropolitan crime. When you're thinking about defund the police, people think, well, they're not going to get the money to get the nice toys. Well, guess what? Get them physically fit. You're most likely to get in a physical altercation with a police officer if they're physically fit. It's been proven.
What's the average police officer that's physically fit now in the 21st century, Charles?
Oh shit! Oh, shit! The average life expectancy is 57.
God damn.
Sorry.
So they're not that out here.
No, because that's another reason why I like to get Avery on and other people when we talk about fitness, because your fitness will determine how you incorporate, how you interact with your environment, with your culture. You wonder why you have black women complaining about why aren't we sought after? If you're overweight and a curmudgeonous bitch, you're not going to be sought after. And I don't think
that's what one woman called in, and she's in her mid-30s, and she let her body go, no kids, but she almost 200 pounds. And he said personally, the more you women weight, the option of you really caring or keeping them at is very slim. And I'll be honest with you, with this cheating thing, I'll be honest with you, to keep real. And I'm going to push back and say, if you are a certain look or weight wise, don't expect a man is not going to stay faithful and fuck you every night. He's going to be thinking on a woman and fucking behind your back. And that's just an honest fact. The more you feel and fit you are, you have a better chance that dude, and if you're feminine and you're cooperative, and if you are have no attitude, you have a better chance. I'm tired of what women talk about say, well, he still cheat. Then there's something about you that's also lacking for a man to go out his way to go find something else. And that's just honest. You're not being honest here.
It reminds me of this, and not to be on the woman tip too much. It reminds me of this. When you have classes of teaching basic boxing, basic wrestling, basic round fighting, hell, even knife fighting if necessary, more time at the range. Yes, things are going to be, I'm going to explain this shit to everybody, okay? Notice the tag in the little right corner. What does it say, folks?
Parental advisor.
Yep, parental, like a CD or a movie.
Yep. So the reason why I put it up there? Because I'm sorry. I'm an effective man, not a nice one. I'm not a bad one, I'm an effective one. So there's going to be some shit that I'm going to state that people may not like, but people cannot say I'm wrong. Number one, the police or law enforcement, there's over 100,000 jurisdictions in America with about roughly 800,000 to 1 million law enforcement agents or officers, or sheriff's deputies, or federal, whatever. One, law enforcement is like being a mechanic. How many mechanics do you know that go to work clean and come back clean? How many?
Not many.
None. I'd say none.
That's the same thing about police work. There's going to be some shit that goes on that you might have to put your hands on somebody, that you have to conduct, you have to enforce the law. That's what you are, law enforcement. So, that being said, are there times where you got to use force to get someone's compliance? Yes. Now, you use whatever force that's necessary for the incident. If it's somebody who's in handcuffs and they're peaceful, all you got to do is just guide them out to the door. If it's somebody dropping to the ground resisting arrest, hey, I could use a joint lock to get you to comply. Hey, stand up. If somebody's swinging on me, can I take my nightstick, my pepper spray? Can I hit him with a right hook? Left hook, right cross? Yes. Can I use a judo throw? Yes. Can I use a joint lock? Yes. If this person has a weapon, can I use my weapons? Yes. If this person is significantly bigger and stronger than me, Can I use my service weapon and draw down on him? Yes. If this person has an unbelievable fighting prowess, like he's the second coming of fucking Batman, or a living weapon like fucking Iron Fist, can I match that? And can I use my weapon to draw down on him? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If he comes forward, yes, you might get shot.
Mm-hmm.
If it's multiple suspects trying to attack me, can I shoot them? Yes.
With precision.
So we need to get out of this thing that officers can and cannot do. We need to actually get a sound and clear knowledge of what officers can and cannot do. Because I would love to see more funding with the police and actually bring people into a training environment where they have to get simunitions, and they're the ones who play police, and they're the ones who have to conduct the investigation. You'll get a newfound police. They had a preacher who conducted an investigation, a mock investigation, on a mock call. He was given simunition rounds, which are similar to paintball, except only faster. Them bitches sting. So he was given his Glock, his service weapon. Of course, it only fires simunitions. And they drove him out and said, you have to take care of the call. So he comes up there. This is the guy who was protesting police left and right.
Mm.
He sees two guys arguing, and one guy's like, man, get out of here. And he's walking up on him, and he pulls out his weapon and shoots the guy 3 times in the chest.
Wow.
And the instructor was like, why did you shoot him? And he was like, well, he was coming over me. Does that mean you shoot him? Does that mean you fire upon him? Do you get a step back? Do you push the guy back? Yes, I can legally push you if you're too close. Hell, police can strike you first if you're showing aggression.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the crazy part. Once he was put into predicament, now he had an understanding. But that's why you have to it's a culture, just like policing had a culture. And for God's sakes, can people stop using slave catchers as police? They were not police. Okay? If you want to learn about if you want to learn about modern policing, look up Sir Robert Peel. Look at the reason why they call the guys over there bobbies.
Man, you read in my head again, Charles. That's why I hopped on. So,
see, go ahead. But
yeah, the question I had was just what you just said. So in UK, they don't have guns. The police officers, they have the bobbies. The nightsticks. You don't have guns. Is that correct?
It is. A special force will be called in if it's a dangerous situation.
So my question to you, Charles, is that do you think that form of policing is effective?
Do you want the Officer Charles version? Do you want the Officer Faulkner version or the Charles version?
I'd rather get your personal opinion.
No, the Charles version is a lot more niggerish. Fuck no. Fuck to the hell no. America has too much of a gun culture. See, we were built up by the gun. Okay? England has been around for over 1100 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? The current place we call Wales, Scotland, and England, the United Kingdom, for all you history buffs out there. Ireland, Scotland, Wales, England, United Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Parts of our Northern Ireland anyway. But people don't understand. Their culture is the sword and the shield. Why do you think they have those crests and they still have the whole medieval theme to them?
Actually, they got a Moorish crest.
Yes, they have the Moorish crest.
Yep.
Because a lot of their rulers were black. Now the history doesn't show that.
Right.
But the point for American culture, have you ever noticed, even from the most gun grabby politician, you know why they never grab guns?
Mm-hmm.
It's the same reason why the Japanese never truly invaded.
Mm-hmm.
The cost of blood would be too high.
Yeah.
As the Japanese general told the emperor, behind every blade of grass in America would have been a gun.
Mm-hmm.
You literally have 80 million legal owners, but over 250 million guns.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that policing will work without the police being armed? Do you think you would even have police if the police weren't armed? No.
No.
It's too much ingrained in the culture. Oh, well, anybody else want to come up here? We got about 6 more spots. If anybody want to come up here,
Yeah, but
put something in the chat.
I'm gonna leave at this point. I just want to say that, like, regarding I'm just gonna backtrack a bit regarding BLM. They should be careful because those are they are the weakest, black women, the trans people, the alphabet crew, and then of course children. They're the weakest in society, and they'll be the most vulnerable. So you do need the police. They need to get off that defund the police because they need it the most. It's a sad thing about our culture, guys. I remember when NWA came out and it was this F the police thing. And so there's something in our culture where we have such a disdain for police, yet we need the service. It's illogical. And we need to get out. We need to get off our, as a collective, especially in the West, we need to get off our emotion and just start getting a little bit more logical. So I just wanted to make those 2 points, and I'll listen in the back.
Okay, cool. Appreciate it. And the reason why they came out with "fuck the police" because you really did have truly out there racist cops. Like no department is free without that shit. As much as we done, house cleaning for a lot of these organizations, you got to think about it. How many of your organizations of police, especially in the South, where they were Klansmen, they're rank and file Klansmen.
A whole lot.
So I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I don't give a fuck what anybody believes, but you better do your damn job when needed. Exactly. If you're a white cop and a black man needs your help, you help them to the best of their ability, regardless of what you think of them. I don't give a shit. Well, we need to get rid of I don't give a shit. That's women thought. That's how women think when you think that you're gonna somehow cleanse the thoughts and minds of everybody. You're not. Sorry. It's just not gonna fucking happen. Mm-hmm. What you need to do is get effective police officers out there to do their damn jobs properly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but the thing about it, like, no disrespect to you, Charles. You're when I'm saying this, it's not you, because I'm sure you saved enough coins. And
I don't take any shit personal.
Yeah. So my stepson, he was asking me, we were talking about possible jobs in the future, careers, and he was like, he wanted to be the police, and I was like, no, you don't want to be the police. You know why they called the police? And he didn't know. He's like probably 7 years old at the time, 12 now. I said, they're poor and they're police.
Not really, because you got to think, policing's COVID proof. You got to think about it.
Oh yeah.
You got to think about it. Police are making more money today than ever. That's you're making more money than people with masters.
Recession proof.
It's actually a professional. It's actually a professional title. Just like you call a person doctor. What is my title? It's officer, soon to be sergeant, but it's officer. So you carry a title, just like it's a professional. It's an honorable thing. You should never teach your son that. Because there are people, guess what he's going to do? If he goes to college and he acquires a lot of debt, guess what he's going to do? He's going to look for a job or a career to basically, survive. So if he could start off with a gig making $50,000 or 55, which is the average, guess what? Where could he find somewhere without a college degree? Hell, you can't even find places with a college degree. I'll give you a good example. My ex-girlfriend is the director of a learning center, right? She's been a teacher for preschool, first grade, and all that other shit. Now she's the director. I want you to guess how much she makes right now.
Director of a preschool? How big is the preschool?
$30K a year.
45.
Okay. It's 45,000.
So you telling me somebody with a bachelor's in early childhood development and education and a police officer starting his first year is making more money than her? and it goes with pay increases, not including promotion. And then your overtime rate, like, goddamn, my overtime rate is like what, $62 an hour?
Yeah.
So it's not about being. I don't trust me. You got police officers who own 2 houses, especially like
I was
they're
just saying.
I know the joke of it,
Yeah.
but
because
but
you
if
do have police officers that, like, I mean, okay, The Wire. The Wire was the director. I forgot his name, but he basically used street stories to tell that narrative of that actual show. So you got corrupt cops that actually, dope dealers, kingpins, they use them for proxy bodyguard service or
it is so.
the
Let me
eyes
put it
of
to you.
law enforcement.
Let me put it to you this way, right? That is so fucking rare. Because number one, what cop wants to leave their $100,000 a year job, not including overtime, not including whatever secondary work they get, for to be convicted of federal court? Because you're going to go in front of a federal prosecutor and a federal judge, and you're going to serve about 20 to 400 years.
So here's another side of that, right? So I beg that,
and I'm gonna say this real quick. The Wire, if you're from Baltimore, you know who they're referring to. You got to remember, a lot of the shit is sensationalized so you can watch it. Because if you watch real police work, it can get tedious and boring at times. But boring is a good thing for police, because who the fuck wants to be on a chase all damn day?
Yeah.
But go ahead.
Yeah. So it's Yeah. So when it comes to damn, I forgot my goddamn train of thought. You cut me off. I was talking about something before you said that I was it was okay, corrupt cops, and then you talked about The Wire. Damn. I was. Yeah, I mean, okay, so yeah, you got some cops, man, that well, okay, yeah, I got it. Okay, took me a minute. So okay, so I pondered the same question, but this is what a guy told me. He was a reformed pookie that got out of prison and went into the trades or whatever. He became basically a contractor or whatever. So he said that how they get in police, some ones that go for the weak ones, they come after their family or whatever. Like they come out the weakest member of their family, and they threaten them. They threaten their life, of their family member, to try to get them under their skin or whatever, or their grass. That's what one aspect of it, but I don't know how true that is, or how corrupt, how many corrupt cops there are or whatever, or but yeah, the police aspect of it is that, yeah, I mean, okay, even if you make over $100,000, which is good, I mean, I told him that it's not necessarily bad, but we settle on, being a doctor, and I told him that don't even be a doctor. We settle on the highest paid fields, which is engineering and basically investment banking.
Now, how old's your son?
Well, when I was married, he's my son now. He's some nigga's nut, but they're processed. But
how old is he now?
He's about 12 now.
So you got to understand something, right? This is the criminality that we actually impose on our children. If our children has a dream, think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know who makes the best lawyers? Former police.
Yeah.
Who knows the law better than a cop? Who knows everyday law better than a cop? Not even lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
They may know textbook law, but everyday law changes. Matter of fact, we're the first motherfuckers to even know when the law changes because they make sure to post that motherfucker up in our emails. They make sure to read it out in roll calls several times a week.
Yeah.
So you understand the day-to-day processes of the police because you were one.
Yeah.
Then on top of that, this is the reason why, and I'm not saying a kid can't be an engineer, but we also got to learn somebody's got to protect us too. If we let alone, have you ever thought about why white people will not leave police departments alone and fire departments alone? Because guess what? They're going to be the ones who's making $200,000 when they get up in the ranks.
Yeah.
Because we left that shit alone. And these are people who barely have, who got GEDs.
Right.
Ain't that a bitch, bro?
And when we could have taken those positions, we refused to because black people look down upon certain shit. We don't even know what an honorable profession is anymore. Because back in the day, banking, the only reason the Jews did banking because everybody thought banking was corrupt. But what happened when the Jews took over? Aren't they the richest people in the fucking country?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
So think about it. Like in the Gray Faulkner Initiative, I wish somebody would post that in the chat. If not, I'll post it eventually. Think about it. If I took 100,000 boys for 10 years to join the military, fire, and police, would you increase the overall medium average of earnings for black men?
Yeah.
Would black men damn near almost all of them would be in the middle class? Even though 64% of us already are there.
Yeah. But here's the thing, man. You got to understand from my perspective. I mean, nobody told me this when I was 12. I had to figure it out over years and years. Okay. What I said was true. Investment bankers, they make well over, $1 million plus.
And guess what happened during Obama's first presidential office sitting? America was ready to put a bullet in those motherfuckers' heads, right?
Yeah, some of them, yeah.
Damn near almost all of them. You know why? Because they fucked up the economy doing all kinds of fucked up shit when they were doing predatory loans to people who couldn't afford houses.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's like
I'm not knocking them. I'm not knocking it.
But that's the same narrative. You saying the same thing like with cops. Like that's how people look at cops. They put the bad apples with the whole bunch.
But you got to remember, when you have investment banking, there's no guarantees in it.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not. But I mean, I would want my son to be, or my daughter to be the best of the best because, I mean, I was not like poor coming up. I never was poor. I call myself the broke genius because I'm hard on myself. I mean, I'm ex-military. I mean, my cousins was cops in the 70s.
Let me ask you something. If you had a son and he said, "I want to go special forces, Dad," would you stop him?
No, but my father wanted me to be an officer. He didn't want me to be enlisted.
Every black father wanted their son to be an officer. But guess what? Why didn't you go officer?
Because I didn't have the credentials to go to be an officer.
Did you have the money to go to college?
No,
not really. No.
And see, this is the failure of the black community. Everybody says college, but nobody says a damn thing about how it's going to get paid. How am I going to get there?
But bro, this is the elephant in the room that people feel that you take a loan, you're good as long as you get the education. No, you are already behind in this country. That's very simple. Why would you want to put yourself at more risk? Because think about it. All right, let's say you go for the high end, like electronics. I'm engineering, lawyer, trade. That's cool. Is this being paid for, or you have to take a loan? Because the minute you start taking loans, that's where you start to be defeated in the whole
Well, it depends. I mean, you know how much engineers make?
I mean, I'm not saying the engineers don't make money. Listen. But
What's
like
one
I
of the
said,
best engineering schools in America?
I know U of I,
MIT,
you
I
know.
believe. I think it's MIT.
One is MIT. Believe it or not, another is Morgan State University in Baltimore.
Oh, I think I know who
And
teaches
and,
for
H,
University.
and HBCU. Matter of fact, it's so damn good. Where here's the hustle, right? Because everything's played two ways of the street. Okay, where you have the even numbers, what do you have on the opposite? The odd numbers.
Mm-hmm.
White boys saying, you know what? I want to go to a great engineering school. So guess what they're going to do? They're not going to go to MIT. You know why? Where the fuck they going to get a scholarship from? They go to Morgan, and Morgan is what? A historically black college or university. So guess what they're going to be able to get? Full ride minority scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
A white boy?
White boy can get a minority scholarship.
Wow.
What did I tell you? When you play in the street, you got to look at both sides of the addresses, man. What's good for the goose has to be good for the gander.
But
so you get a kid, huh?
No, go ahead. Finish.
But you got to understand this. So if white boys are going to the damn Morgan to get some great fucking education, and remember, to be a black engineer, you got to be 3 times as good to get it. Excuse me, 2 times as good to get it, 3 times to keep it, and 4 times to prove it.
Yeah.
Same thing with police. If your son wanted to be a great police, guess what? Who knows? Your son may become the greatest police we ever know. He might become the police commissioner and change a lot of the policies. Not saying, but that could be because what we do is we stifle. As long as your child's saying, I don't want to be I want to be a rapper, or I want to be a porn star on OnlyFans, that's when you should be shaken up. You know? But when your child wants to be police, you should take them to, if you have a black fraternal order police, you should take them to the neighborhood. Once again, you don't even know your goddamn police officers in your neighborhoods. But we want to be engineers. Guess what? That police officer could be the guy who finds him drinking with his drunken buddies in college and say, look, if I didn't know you, or if you were rude, I'd have locked your ass up on a DWI and they'd have kicked your ass out of school and your scholarship, and you pay all that damn money back. But because I know your daddy and I know you're a good kid, and I'm black and you black, and I'm going to look out for your ass, I'm going to sit your stupid ass here, and we're going to call your parents to come get your damn car. Matter of fact, I'll give you a good real life story. If you want to hear a real good life, real calling story, give me a goddamn woo on the channel and the panel.
Come on, guys. Woo! I ain't ring yet, man. Y'all have to donate. You about to go in, man. Come on, man.
I need this. As a matter of fact, I need about 5 people to donate. And I don't even do that on a regular, but these are some real stories that somebody needs to hear. That's the Cash App in the joint. I don't even really ask for money like that. I appreciate every donation. I don't have what is that shit called? Super Chat?
Yeah.
There's a reason. Yeah. There's a reason why I have that shit up there, because guess what? You're not going to hear the real Baltimore true stories of policing anywhere else on YouTube. You're not going to get some Brandon Tatum one-sided bullshit. You're going to get the fairness. You're going to get the truth. You're going to get the thunder, and damn sure believe the lightning. Mm-hmm. We had a kid. I think he went to Towson or Morgan. Full ride. Got his car towed. Decided to go to the tow spot in the county. He lived in the city. Matter of fact, I'll start over. Because it's even more interesting.
Okay.
The son tried to say his car was stolen. Come to find out, we get a call from the county, Baltimore County, and we go to the house. Kind of find out he stole his car from the tow truck place where the car was towed. They actually had a video surveillance of him running into the gate when it was open, and then getting the keys and running out. to the point where he put damages on his car because the gate scraped across his car. You got this kid, no father, only his mother, his younger brother. And you're like, wait a minute. Why would you try to get your car? Well, this is the only thing I got, and this is the only way I can get back and forth to school. I'm like, young man, who taught you to think like this? At what time did you think you were going to benefit from this shit? Well, I was trying to. So now you got these young black boys with no type of guidance. He could have called the police saying, what should I do? Okay, this is how you pay your tickets. This is what you need to man up and do. He took it upon himself to really think he was going to get away with stealing his car like nobody has surveillance in today's world. Scholarship for engineering. And you're gone. And now you're going to be kicked out of school for a full ride because of bullshit decision making.
Which the white supremacist likes to do, because they said now open the doors for other of my group and kick out this Negro. Because of competition at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen.
I even had guys who wrestled for me, wanted to be on fucking, what was it? McCabe and Reddy. What the fuck are you doing out here? Well, coach, I grabbed him by his shit. I said, I don't want to see you up in this block ever again. Or I'm going to lock your ass up personally. Because if I go to your daddy's house with you in handcuffs and dump you off there and say you have him, he's going to beat the fuck out of you. Matter of fact, he's going to beat the fuck out of you when he has to bail your ass out from central bookings. Long story short, that whole block from Glenwood to Reddy was indicted federally. You couldn't take a piss without a federal agent knowing about it.
Wow.
If he'd have been still there hanging with them people, he'd have been gone.
Saved his life for his own good.
But yet, we're gonna play this video. We're gonna get back to the questionnaires very soon. But we're gonna play this video and we're gonna make a point about this.
Yeah.
Now roll that beautiful being footage.
Right.
I never been to New Britain. I never been to no fucking New Britain.
Can you hear it? Wait, make sure.
Where is this at?
No, can you hear it?
Yeah, we can hear it. I mean, I can.
All questions be asked later. But let's listen to it.
I want your badge number. You're going down. I got that shit on camera. You're going down. You lying bitch. You fucking lying.
You dropped the dollar, man.
You really gonna sit there and lie? Everything I do is legit. Everything I do is legit. Everything I fucking do is legit.
You need to relax.
I don't want to talk to you. I want your fucking badge number. I want your badge number. Badge number. You are gonna be on administrative leave. Badge fucking number. Now. You will go on administrative leave effective immediately. Now.
How's the register stolen? I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. You got the hot sheet?
You can put me around the 1700 park on that 25.
Chaos, did she actually touch one of the officers or was she throwing something?
To be honest with you, this video, because I haven't watched it, is 12 minutes. From what I'm checking, it don't seem like she didn't touch the officer. The one that she wants the badge number is the guy with the bald head. So let me continue playing.
No, he wasn't.
Ledger at Catherine.
That's the one with the black shades. That's the one.
934, please.
Can I make keys, please? Stop fucking checking that video. You know this isn't part of you fucking trick. Jay Lane, that's your name. Can I get your badge number?
can we show her that? Can we just show her that it's on the list of stolen? Yeah, if you want. Hey, what's her name? What's her name? Ma'am.
And pause it for a minute.
Come here.
Yes. Go ahead.
See that Exum, that's usually I guess you might as well call it the universal body cameras that everybody's getting for their company that you see in the corner. It has the date, the time, and it even has the GPS location number.
Which one is that?
You see up there in the upper right corner.
Is it T14?
Yeah, where it says Exum body.
Yeah.
That's the body cam they're wearing.
Oh, so this is education. Good looking. See, this is why I kind of respect Charles Officer Faulkner present this, because I learned as to go. And I want people to watch this because it's a learning experience. So you know what's going on.
Because you got to realize something. So right then and there, I think they're pulling up on their pocket cops. If they're similar to my department, they're pulling up on their pocket cops, which their pocket cop has NCIC, state and local access. NCIC is the National Registry for people who have licenses, IDs, and vehicle tag numbers and stuff like that. So if it's kind of hard to hear it because, body cams, you can, unless you're speaking super loud, sometimes even when loud, it can be a little distorted. I don't know if they're saying, what was the reason they stopped it? Because they said the car might be stolen?
Yeah, something stolen.
Yeah, because guess what? Some people will actually do this shit. They'll report the car stolen, and it could be legitimately stolen. Not saying she did or anybody did anything wrong.
Correct.
But they will forget to have the police come out to take it off the stolen list. So if you don't take it off the stolen list, guess what? We're going to pull it over as it being stolen. Yeah. And she's screaming, and I like to say this. Remember when I said you need to think logical? Mm-hmm. Does that sound like a logical thinking human being there?
No. Most women are very emotional, bro.
Emotional as fuck. Have the officers did anything wrong so far?
No.
And they're trying
I'm gonna explain more because the other video.
It may be more so further down in the video. It might be a little questionable, but right now she's cussing and fussing instead of being calm and like, ma'am, is this your vehicle? Is it stolen? It was registered stolen. I could even play it for the dispatcher to say what it was under. We will even go,
Extremely emotional too.
Extremely emotional. Damn near about to be violent. For what? For something that can easily be explained. Like the dispatcher, and usually what will happen, the dispatcher will say, hey, it's coming up stolen, because it will actually come up as an alarm on the dispatcher's computer. Mm-hmm. And we will call hot desk or whatever jurisdiction it was stolen under to verify, because even if it comes up stolen, we still have to verify through hot desk or whatever jurisdictions duty officers placement. But continue.
Thank you. And thank you again, Mr. Officer Faulkner, for explaining that. Very good.
I want to show you. I want to show you something. I'm trying to show you. Listen, you see your car right here, man? You see it's on red. You see AWA.
There's no possible way.
Listen. No.
There's no fucking possible way. My car.
Pause it.
All right. Hold on.
Yeah. It's like I got a goddamn crystal ball, man.
Hold on, Charles. We going. Are y'all hitting this cash app? I'm not fucking around tonight, man.
Y'all need to donate to the chief engineer. Y'all need to donate to the channel. I mean, this is educational, man. You're not gonna get the real shit here, because right then and there, they tried to show her on the pocket cop that is coming up red. Instead of being a logical human being, nobody accused her of anything. They're just trying to show her it's coming up stolen. Well, let's try. Do you really think they want to stay out there all day, get the car towed, write a report that it's towed? You got to write at least 2 reports. Recovered stolen auto and a towed vehicle, and you got to make sure the vehicle gets down there. So who wants to do more paperwork than actually figuring out if it's stolen or not? Who knows? It could have been her husband, her boyfriend. It could have been her reporting it and forgot to say take it off. Guess what? If she's the legal owner, That's what the registration's for. It could all be just one big misunderstanding. But continue.
Thank you. Thank you.
Listen. We're trying to tell you. We're trying to tell you.
No, it fucking hasn't. Leave me alone. No, it hasn't.
And vision, facts.
Everything is in my name. How
Listen,
the fuck could it be
we're trying to show you why we
That's the
stopped it. That's
bullshit
it.
system you did.
No,
You make up the
listen,
numbers.
no, listen.
Where'd you get the numbers from?
All right, I'm done.
She look like Baraka, a Street Fighter.
Don't talk about Blanco in Street Fighter. He's actually a handsome man, and she looks like a man, just not a handsome one.
We talk. If you're the owner, we'll take it out of the system and we'll have you we're confirming that you're the owner.
What else do you need?
To run you in
What else do you
insurance
need?
cars registered.
Don't give a fuck out.
All right,
Give me my fucking registration and my insurance now.
ma'am.
Give me
Ma'am.
my registration.
Pause it.
Hold on. Before you say something, you have not seen nothing yet. But I'm gonna
And see, this is the crazy. What's up, Poetic Kells? What's up, James Kills? And see, when people want to look in the life of the day and the life of a police officer, that shit happens every day. I stopped the vehicle when we're at a red light. She waits till the green light for her friend to come over and blocking traffic. And I'm literally behind them and they're blocking traffic. And I'm like, go. Why can't you do that? Why can't you pull over to the side and let traffic go through? And it was a chick named Diamond, her actual name. Diamond doesn't remember 3 years prior to that, I was the guy keeping her boyfriend from kicking her ass when he was actually in the process kicking her ass. So I had to kick his ass. But the ungrateful bitch, and like she's being right now, what did the officer just say? If you are the registered owner, we can take it out the system now. You're helping us. She was illogical. She was disrespectful. Not to mention that she looks like a combination of Darkseid, the DC character, and some Hawk spit in the face. But yet, she's going to make this whole fucking scene for what? For what? Can't sue them because they're doing everything. They're doing everything under the good faith doctrine. They're showing you on body cam, this is the reason why we pulled you over, which is a legal stop. You have yet to present anything. What did I say early in the stream? Why can't you just pull up your license of registration? Oh, it came up stolen. Hey, you're the registered owner. So, okay, you've been informed. Okay, you made it easier for us. Bam. But go ahead, finish, please.
All right. Let y'all know this is 12 minutes long, and we got, I'm not sure how much more time on it, but regardless, it's a learning video. So let's continue.
Registration and insurance. You're not gonna give it to me.
Listen, ma'am.
You're not gonna give it to me.
Ma'am.
You're not gonna give it to me.
Ma'am.
Your radio is terrible.
Can you please come over here?
Sure.
Let them do what they gotta do, and then you'll be on your way.
Give me my shit.
What's your
Tired of
name?
you cops. Tired of you cocksuckers. I hope y'all all go to hell. I can't wait till Hunter have this fucking argument.
I said I love Jesus, so that's not happening.
The fuck, that will. It's already written.
You read the Bible. Don't even bother. Don't even bother.
It's already fucking written.
Don't even
Let's
bother.
talk about it.
Oh, so she's a Calvinist.
Yes, like all of that. Whatever you want me to be. Never did too.
Jesus, I don't
I
got
don't
it.
give a fuck. You want to get my registration?
I don't have your registration.
So get it from your friend.
The cars in the system is stolen.
I don't care. You see it's me. You see I'm the owner. What are we doing? What
We
are
have
we
to run it.
doing?
We have to run it. We have to do a phone call.
What are you doing? No, I don't want to talk to you.
Stay over
I'll
there.
just leave.
No, you can't leave. You can't.
It's my car. I can absolutely.
Ma'am. Like, do you have the keys? Ma'am, pull out the car. What are you doing? Stay over there. 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 I'm not gonna tell you again. Stay over there. Out of there. Get out of the car.
Fuck! It's my car and it's not stolen!
Listen, watch out.
It's my car!
Let it out of the car.
I don't give a fuck! It's my car! It's not
What are you
stolen!
doing?
It's my car!
Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Leave my sister alone. Yeah, it's gonna be fucking alone.
Stay back. Stay back. Step by.
Leave my sister alone. Leave her alone, baby. Put the car in park, baby. Put the car in park, baby. Put it in park.
You guys back up. Back up. Get behind the curb. I'm not telling you to get back. Back up.
Calm down.
What are you doing? Stay back. Let's go.
Leave me alone. I have my daughter here. Leave me alone. That's my kid. Don't tell me to step back. We here. We here for our sister.
No, that's fine. We're trying to listen. We're trying to run the phone. Back up. Back up.
Pause it. Right there.
Yeah.
All those people could be arrested for hindrance of a police investigation. I've told many of people, you see where the storefront is? That's a good enough distance for you to record and do whatever you want. But yet, these are one of those cases where you would tell white officers that they're being racist, but I have to say this, they're being above and beyond nice to her. They're being cordial. Me personally, you would have been in the legal right to just tow the car.
The old dude was pulling something out of his hoodie. I mean, like you. I mean, did you not see that? Like,
if I'm telling you to go over there, they're hindering. They're coming into a police investigation. I tell people all the time, I don't care, because guess what? As a matter of fact, if you want to, when all this shit blows over, you could go to, we don't call it internal affairs anymore. We also call it a public professional, I forget, professional investigation or whatever the hell it's called. I gotta pull up the new name for it. They always change the fucking acronyms underneath your nose.
Citizens Review Board, something like that.
And guess what? My man Aaron, what's up, Aaron? Woo, mental issues can have you imagining dealing with her in real life. Jesus. I mean, think about it. I think she probably had a bit of mental issues. It's this over dramatic, overreacting bullshit that we go through every day. Do you think those police officers need more training, or do they need liquor?
I mean, imagine trying to date that chick, or even.
And now she's the type of motherfucker who will try to get a shyster ass lawyer and accuse them police officers of misconduct. But right then and there, ma'am, why are you driving off in the car? You could have hit one of those officers or hit a bystander. And then you're driving and we don't even know who you are till we fucking verify it. But then she'll be the same motherfuckers. You ain't doing your job, correct?
Yeah. I know that the chat room is. Hey, listen. I know y'all guys could donate because I'm seeing it, and really true. I have to replay this because I see how the people acting, conducting something in the chat room. Please, cool y'all stuff, please. Cool y'all stuff. I mean, I know it's seeing this, but it's like I said, this is for education purpose only. You know. So.
And this is not even a knock on black women. But yet, let me tell you one thing. That's not a good representation of them.
Yeah.
And this is how you know, and I will say this on a side note before we play it further. Mm-hmm. This is how you know black men and black women live in two different worlds. Mm-hmm. Black man act like that, he got his ass beat.
Yep. Instant.
And continue.
All right.
Back up! Back up, man. Man, stay back, please. Please stay back. Listen, get back. Get back. Relax. Get back, man. Get back. She's not listening. Get back. I'm not listening. What the fuck? Stay back. What the fuck? I'm not listening. She made her decision. Stay back. I'm not. Oh my God. I'm not worried about it. I'm not. Stay over there. Stay over there. All right. Back up.
No, you don't need that many.
Back up.
Why is there not a female officer?
Guys, back up.
Pause it. Pause it.
All right, I'll pause it.
We teaching today. Somebody needs to fucking donate. I don't ask for donations much, but
I mean,
y'all getting some real fucking on the job training right now. You just heard the motherfucker just say, "Why aren't there a female police?" What if we don't have a fucking female working that night or that morning? You do know policing is 88% male, right?
I think they forgot about that.
You do know that she did try to drive away with a stolen fucking vehicle, right?
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
You don't know if it was called stolen from somebody else if she was the registered owner.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still yelling like a maniac, causing a scene for what? And here comes Captain Saberho jumping to the rescue for shit that he probably didn't have any business in.
Mm-hmm.
Not telling this woman, calm down, let them do their job. What? Calm down. Did these officers disrespect her in any way?
No, man. They were actually being pretty reasonable.
And they were pretty much all white, right?
Yeah. Besides one dude. Well, mostly they're all white. Actually.
Most of them. Yeah. So right now, here we coming. Oh, fuck the police, man. Like, really? Like, you don't have a fucking job to do. Like, this could have been all avoided. It could have been what? 5 minutes. 5 fucking minutes. She could have been calm. Hey, okay, what are you pulling me? It says you're stolen. Oh no, I'm the registered owner. Oh shit, let me prove it to you. Here you go. Oh, verified. Okay, we got the registered owner right here. Okay, we'll just take it out the system. We'll write up one quick report that the vehicle was recovered, stolen, recovered, and given back. Well, what happens? Somebody's being emotional. Not logical at all. Continue, please.
All right. Let me find my mouse.
She can't breathe, man. They need your help first. Trust me. They're doing what they gotta do. Step back.
Okay, I'm gonna record it.
That's fine. Record all you got to. But record, but stay on the curb. Stay on the curb.
I'm right here. That's why you shot that way. 679 Blue Hill.
We good. I'm an officer too, bro. This is not right. It's not needed for all this extra stuff. I'm an officer too. This is not needed for all this. It's for this calm down. Why is there no female cop out here? Why is there not a female cop out here?
All of these men and women are around.
Step back.
Just relax.
Just step back.
Just relax.
Anyone else?
Relax. Sit down and stay still.
Yeah, baby, calm down. Calm down.
I mean, now she got to see you ready in the restraints. You got to calm down.
I'll register my way. You guys can make your way to 911 on the 6375. White female blonde hair wearing a white shirt and jeans. Black male wearing a gray sweater and jeans in the building refusing to leave. He's dating the supervisor at 1040.
Right now, they don't need to kill you. You know, I'm still with him. He's not.
Are you a relative? I thought you said you were her sister.
That is my sister.
So the little girl's in the car.
Ain't that your brothers? That's my sister.
There's a little girl in the car.
That's not my
Well, did you say that's your sister? So I would suggest go over there. Fuck, man. Whole kid in the car.
Hold up. Pause it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you shitting me? You know, does everybody know what I'm going to say, right?
No.
You acted like a wholesale fucking fool with your child in the car. I swear to God, man. I'm not against black women. I'm not one of them people who kick them at the curb. But goddamn, you verify everybody in the black manosphere right with this one fucking video.
And to be honest with you, Charles, this is not really the attention for that because I only watched brief. I haven't really watched it from entirely. I just glimpsed it and then said, "Oh, it's probably something. Yeah, it happened every day." But when I saw it on IG, so I posted IG. This thing got almost 13K hits on IG. And I'm thinking,
for something that's fucking preventable. Something that's fucking preventable. See, this is what happens when you come up in a culture of fucking entitlement. See, this is what makes me sick. And this is the reason why I remember my ex-girlfriend that I was talking while I was getting ready for work today. And she was like doing some kind of family law class. What should you do about domestic violence laws? I think we should make them a felony. Domestic violence is pretty much a felony now.
yeah.
How can you make something a felony if it's common assault? Common assault is a misdemeanor. Yes, you can still get arrested because if it's domestic. I said, here it is, right? The problem with that is that how many people lie, especially when you find out statistically, domestic violence across the board in this country is 50-50. Then on top of that, you find out going even deeper, you go even deeper, domestic violence when it comes to black male and black women is 64%. The woman is the aggressor.
They'd be locked up right now, bro.
So you're telling me that she's being a thoughtful fucking parent, not controlling her emotions, something that could be handled in 25 to 10, maybe 15 minutes at the most. Taken off the record. Because you got to call Hot Desk to take it off the record. You got to call in the owner, the name, put in the fucking the VIN number, the vehicle ID number. You got to put in all this, what's under the case number it's under, or the central complaint number. But yet, it's crazy. I'm an Aries Queen bitch. Classical name. When the police do something stupid, does it verify everything that says about the police? Well, I could come up with a lot more of these videos of black women losing their shit than the police losing their shit. Ask me how I know. I could come up with a lot more incidents of black women losing their shit than police losing their shit. Ask me how I know. It's not like I don't live in a black community. It's like I haven't been black for almost 40 years. It's not like everybody can tell you majority of black women are of sound mind. But instead of saying this woman is fucking wrong, instead of letting me finish my fucking thought, you want to come with that bullshit. But yet, is this the norm or is this a special case when we see black women? So dismiss me with that bullshit. Because really, I would love to see every last black man and black woman be looking great. But guess what? Once again, this channel is about fairness and the fucking truth. Do I make excuses for fucked up cops?
Nope.
Have I ever?
Nope.
So you think I'm gonna make excuses for some batshit crazy black woman? Hell no. If the cops were wrong, I would have pointed it out a long motherfucking time ago. I could come up with videos of black women killing their kids that were unarmed. I could come up with videos with black women insulting black men unarmed. Hell, majority of the times, let's just tell the fucking truth. Majority of times, when these fucking black women call the police on their black men, they wouldn't be killed unarmed, would they? But that's an unspoken thing, right? But yeah, it's black girl magic, right? See, I'm smart enough, and I'm not a disingenuous motherfucker to say this is all black women. because I purposely had black women here who were feminine, who were fun-loving, who were mature, who were elegant. She is none of those. But how many will come to the rescue? Look, chick, calm down. It is not that fucking serious. I've personally been to calls. What are you doing this for? You called us here. But yet, if it was a black man, would there be an excuse?
No.
I want you to remember that. I want you to remember that shit. So, I want you to remember that. There would be no fucking excuse for a man to be acting like that. I could show you videos of black men defending black women, throwing bricks through a storefront store, just like the ones when they were going to the nail shop being disrespected. And what did those same black women do? They were packed up even more so. But that man went to jail, didn't he, for destruction of property?
Yeah. Went right back there now. They're probably making the most money they ever made.
But we don't talk about that shit, do we?
I do.
Thank God every black woman doesn't act like this. But we know goddamn well if that was a black man, what would the fuck would have happened? But guess what? How many fucking times when a black man gets the police called on him, it's by whom's calling? Continue, please.
All right.
Man, Supervisor! I can't breathe! He's on the ambulance! I can't breathe! I'm gonna get the police to say she can't breathe. I can't believe y'all doing this. She can't breathe. Are y'all serious right now? Are you serious?
Stay back, stay back, stay back, stay back.
That's bad though. We want y'all bad though right here. We want y'all bad though. What's your bad though? What's your name, sir?
But once again, nobody sees any wrongdoing on her part.
Y'all got a problem.
Stay back, back up. Get on the curb, get on the curb. Get on the curb.
Y'all about to break up. Hey, I'm fighting the door. I don't care.
Stay back, get on the curb. Boss, get on the curb. I'm not gonna tell you one more time. Stay on the curb.
What you mean? I gotta go take what you talking about. I don't care. I'm not gonna stop yelling none of that. Y'all gonna hear me today. Put that shit down.
Pause it. What the fuck are they doing with their manly asses?
Being super extreme tomboys of the world.
These fucking manly, overly manly, masculine. Yo. You know, I'm going to tell a short story before we finish. When I grew up in the 80s and 90s, black women were the most beautiful women in the world. I literally grew up with black women being kind of dainty. As soon as they get somewhere, they would clean or cook. They would kiss you all over the forehead, on the cheeks, hug you, walk you by your little hand and get your candy, teach you how to tie your shoes, do all kinds of nice shit. Do all kinds of ladylike shit.
As soon as you walk in the house, ask you want something to eat.
Yes. That's how I grew up. Even in Baltimore, where I grew up, I'm born and raised, women would never let a child starve. If they saw a man doing something, they would thank the man for carrying the bags, and they would like have a pie or a cake or some leftovers they would give them. Or if they're cooking, you hungry, baby? Not even trying to have sex with them, just thankful to be in the presence of men. What's wrong with going back to that? If it's your car, trust me, I had the same shit happen on me in a call. I had a dude, we got off at 7? We had a call for the boyfriend put a knife up to his pregnant girlfriend's neck, stole her credit card. Pillar of the community, right? You produce women like this are producing men that will put a fucking knife up to a woman's neck who's pregnant. Fuck out of here. So you telling me, and you're right, Aaron, it is dead. That behavior is dead. I'm supposed to be off, but I still got to carry on the investigation. I have a picture of the guy, and I looked at her cell phone. He tried to use it at a gas station. So I was like, let me go back around this gas station because the motherfucker's too stupid not to try it. So I catch him. Of course, guns out, pointed at him. You best get on the floor. Well, you got your gun pointed out on me. The same reason why you had a knife up to your baby mama's neck who's pregnant. I don't know who you're talking about. Of course he has her card in her possession when I searched him. Of course he has her mail because he's this emotional, jealous fucking bitch of a man. As soon as we get to the wagon, I can't breathe. Play the game. Get a medic. Have him transferred. You're still arrested, motherfucker.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But because we developed this bullshit in the community, even Poetic Kel said it. Yeah, Charles, I'm an 80s baby, and you are real right about that. We got away from femininity and masculinity so much when we see it, we have to exalt it instead of it being the norm.
Can I say something for a second? With what you just said, with the masculinity and everything. Do you know today men or so-called men are wearing purses? They call them purses. And not only that, are actually wearing full-blown hair extensions.
Yeah.
Bro, let me tell you something how it gotten bad out here. Men now are wearing stick-on beards.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit that I did not know now exists in this community.
You talking about women are wearing?
Oh yeah, women. I mean, yeah, women. But like I said, because remember, anything you put on that never grow on your head or your face, it's like going with the women, the fake hair, you know.
Yeah.
And now dudes are doing it.
Yeah, studs and guys. But the tripped out thing I saw was the stud getting a beard transplant. Like, oh.
It's so fucking funny, right?
Mm-hmm.
That I look at black women, and sometimes I'm bored, and I'm looking at Tommy Sotomayor. This motherfucker made a career out of fucking pulling videos up of black women.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna start doing that. I tried my best to get women like a Poetic Kells, like a Miss Gigi, like a Miss Melanie, and others, like a Nicole Ali, on the channels to have great conversations with feminine, intelligent, beautiful women. To show brothers that beautiful women who are intelligent and feminine still exist. Go get them. Yeah. But
Snap you up now. You can.
Here's the thing. I think Royce J. I think he's the guy that used to be on the Gladiator, the BGS Coliseums. I think he's a cop from Chicago. If it's just the same guy, but he said something that's very important. His last comment. If you want, like, so not only, yeah, she's I don't know really what's gonna happen. Obviously, she's going to jail, but like you said, right? You play the whole game. She gets in a they call the ambulance, right? The ambulance is not coming there to pick her up for free.
No, they're not.
And
Wait.
And as he said, they're gonna charge her probably around $2,000 for an ambulance bill if she does not have health insurance, and it's going straight on her credit report if she don't pay it. So all of this by just basically going full blown emotional,
ape shit.
She's gonna have. If let's say this plays out and she actually gets an ambulance bill, she's gonna have that, and of course has to get bailed out and everything like that. But I mean, you don't prove everything on the scene. You get a lawyer. You should already, just in case everybody is watching. I mean, this is your grandpa or your uncle speaking. I mean, I can say that being 40 years old now. You want to always.
Oh, that 40 ain't old yet, brother.
Yeah, but okay, midlife or whatever. You wanna always have a lawyer on deck, man, that you could call. You should always have at least one lawyer. On deck just in case you need them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, basically, so you're not handling the situation on the scene of a police encounter. You want to get to the encounter, let them charge you, whatever. Then when you go to lock up, you get your phone call. You call that number. You memorize that number like that's your father's number or somebody important. And then you call that person. They come bail you out. And get you out of the situation. Even if they roughed you up. I got a buddy, got roughed up by police in Northwest Indiana. He got over $100,000 after some years of back and forth in court, and he finally got a settlement. I mean, the dude's already crippled because he had disabilities when he was born, but they beat him up even worse, right? So broke his arm or leg or something like that. But you don't handle everything where you get, you survive the encounter, even if they mess you up. You get, you sue them later or you deal with it later. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, carry on.
But here's the point that nobody pointed out. She has a child in there, most likely to be hers. Now you got to call Child Protective Services.
Right. Even worse.
And once they show that fucking video to a judge, she could possibly lose temporary custody of her child.
Mentally unfit.
Yeah.
If I was a judge, I'll say that she's mentally unfit.
So you telling me right now, these officers guess what? Let's look at what the evidence presents. It may not be a representation of all black people. Sure as hell not a good one.
If I was a judge, I would cause a hearing to see if, okay, here's the other question. She didn't have that baby through immaculate conception. So I would have a hearing to see if the father can show up to the hearing. Or maybe the dude walking away is the father. I don't know.
Maybe the father is nowhere to be seen.
Right.
Maybe the father said, you know what, this bitch crazy, fuck it.
Right.
So
yeah, go ahead.
See, the craziest part about it is,
but you know where I was going, right?
Yeah.
Charles.
Yeah. So you're now, but yet you still that father if he's available, is still going to catch hell getting custody for his own child. And they also has more compassion about the child in this video than she does.
Yeah, you talking about reality, but I was saying like in a fairy tale magical world, like the judge is actually a balanced judge. He sees this mentally unfit individual in his courtroom because he sees the tapes, and he causes makes a hearing for a next appearance where he see if the father will show up to court, because like I say, she didn't have this child through immaculate conception or sperm donor. She, let's just face it, she most likely had it through regular encounters, intercourse. So if the father shows up to court and he shows or proves that he's fit, I would get a hearing to check the living situations and everything, and do a background check or everything, see if he's outstanding citizen. I would give full custody to the father. And then if she goes going crazy and ballistic in court, she's already in jail. So
she's gonna be held in contempt.
Held in contempt.
And it's crazy. I'll say this before we continue.
Yeah,
not one of them damn people try to calm her down. Be like, look, lady, they're checking. They said they're gonna give you the car. They just gotta verify and do what they gotta do, and you be about your. I don't give a fuck. And see, I gotta blame the brothers on this one. Stop fucking women like this.
Yeah.
Let me start giving a dick.
Yeah.
Remember, if you are a homosexual, on the average, you have no choice but to give the dick to.
I'm gonna tell you what I did last night. I called in the Minister Jap show, and Jap and I had a short conversation about shit like this. Why are these dudes out here giving all this sex and attention to curmudgeonous motherfuckers like that? It's no different if I ask ladies, why do y'all date the most bummy niggas y'all can find? Because that shows you where the fuck you are. But continue, Chaos.
All right. As it winds down to this video, and it's almost at the end anyway, so let's listen to the remainder of this.
Y'all hurting her! Put her in the ambulance! Put her in the ambulance! So stop them! Put her in the ambulance! Put her in the ambulance! Put her in the ambulance!
Driving a car away with her daughter in it. Smart.
She's scared! Look at how much y'all to her! What do you mean? What the fuck is you doing here?
Going to the ambulance, guys.
What's your back six? Everybody that jumped out. What's your bag? What's your bag number?
Everybody that jumped on her, what's your bag?
All of them bag numbers.
All right.
We have any more questions or anybody else want to be on this panel? Because that shit is disgusting.
Yeah.
We want your badge numbers.
Yeah. But you said something else, like you said, man, what did you say? I was thinking about, this is the last thing you said about her. Oh yeah, nobody calmed her down. Oh no, you didn't say. You said why are dudes fucking these bitches, these crazy bitches, like basically.
It's no different than when I see women having children by guys who can't take care of them.
Yeah.
No sense does it make. Like what can you explain to me saying, does that look like a great mom to you?
No, not at all. And you know why they fucking these bitches? And I have to admit, because believe it or not, how she's acting now, if you notice the attention to detail, military talk. Did you see her phone case? Our phone case had backwoods on it. Okay, so she's obviously an 85 octane.
Probably a diesel.
No, exactly a diesel. 85 octane, 420 friendly, Hennessy and Blood Thought. Easy. Just bring over 2 blunts and some Henny, and you can get it in all night with her. Because believe it or not, I bet you 9 times out of 10 when she first meet a guy, she's probably like will come off as very nice and very easy, because let's face it, she wants to get her some, and you know she knows that she's not really hitting on much.
So you trying to say that she's on some bald head hoe shit?
Pretty much. I could tell. I pretty much, man, could read her. I mean, she's, you know what I'm saying? She's pretty much she's got the backwoods. If you could roll this video back and watch it again.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a backwoods phone case cover. She's a 2 blunt Henny chick. I mean, I'm from Chicago, okay? So
yeah, hey,
chicks like this are a dime a dozen.
What up, Charles?
What's up?
Hey, man, I'm gonna weigh in on this thing, man. Like, I'm from Chicago too, and that brother from Chicago, I drove the bus for CTA for 10 and a half years, brother. I believe I talked to you about this on BGS channel before. I'm trying to, man, y'all missed the whole point. The point is, it ain't about so much. It's like this. They be feeling entitled, man. They can do whatever they want to with them officers. The officers are gonna get them a break 9 times out of 10. They do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
A black woman arguing and fussing with some random person on the street with her kids is a normal behavior in Chicago. That's why I'm driving a truck right now.
You can ask my boy Ern. You can ask my boy. You can ask me for Baltimore. See, not to cut you off. I'm sorry for cutting you off. Have you ever noticed that black men around this country can tell a very similar story?
Yeah.
But I'm gonna tell you,
they call you
Charles,
crazy.
It's deeper than that. Cause see, what they like to do is they like to pick on old men, because just like that young brother rolled up when he knew that chick was in the wrong, that same woman is gonna pick on an old man just so the rest of the crowd, the other black men who behave like that, gonna kick his ass. I done seen that shit happen 1,000 times, bro. That shit drove me away from that $35 an hour. So now I'm driving. I can't even do that no more. I done had women threaten me, and I called the officer like, "Hey, you ain't finna call me a bitch, and I'm finna drive you down the street too, sweetheart. Here come this officer." Now she trying to convince this officer, telling me what I'm gonna do. He like, "Well, bitch, he the captain of the ship. You got the role." And she just knowing that she gonna win this argument, and I'm driving. Like, bitch, I'm not driving you nowhere. You don't understand it. This is every day with them, bro.
They're the type of motherfuckers. They're the type of motherfuckers who will argue with a restaurant. I don't like the way this tastes.
Right.
And then you wonder why you got strings of hair and shoelaces in your steak, and demand that they should kick their steak even further.
Some special cream.
That shit is every motherfucking day, bro. That shit is every motherfucking day.
And have y'all ever noticed why I go out of my way to bring feminine women on my panels?
Yeah.
Because it's
an anomaly.
Yeah, it's an anomaly, and it's a fucking relief.
Another reason why they look at older men like that, because I get a lot of looks and stuff like that, because it's psychological. Their father 9 times out of 10 was not around regular. So, because their mama probably chased them away. So they look at an older man as the person, the enemy, person that left.
But see, I don't get mad at them for that behavior. What I get mad at is when some brother clearly see this bitch in the wrong, but he gonna still uphold her and her righteousness to fuel that fire.
Because
that be making me want to.
I get it from men and women, and I know why. Because they daddy 9 times out of 10, they daddy wasn't around. So peep this. So when I hear women say they the least protected in the community,
it make me ball my face up. Like that's some foolish ass thought. When you look at the community, it don't matter what they do, they're gonna get protected.
I gotta
This
salute
is
you
the
for
reason
that
why
one.
they could carry on how they carry on.
I gotta salute
You
you
know
for
what I'm saying?
that.
That is some of the dumbest shit. When you out here in it as a public figure of any sort, whether you a waiter or a bus driver, a police officer, you know that this black woman, she's gonna get support no matter what type of buffoonery she engaged herself in. It doesn't matter. She could be fucking with you. I'd have had officers roll up on me like, what happened? I'm like, man, she just stole on that man for no reason. He still wasn't gonna take her to jail. Told her to take a walk. If that had been me and you, we going to jail.
But guess what? We still had a chick in here. Let me bring back her name. If I could find it.
Wait a minute, the one that somebody said yes, this is sexist.
Nah. You'll see. You'll see.
Okay.
I'm an Aries Queen, bitch. What? See, this is what they do all the time. You see that? They're deflecting for what's going on in reality.
In reality, they go around entitled, arguing with folks with their kid in arms. They go around bullying on folks because they know it's a gang of brothers who not gonna just complain like they did with them officers. They gonna put hands on you if you ain't capable.
Yeah.
So,
I'm thinking to myself, I'm a believer that women should be protected. But I'm sorry. The people who deserve it.
And I gotta say, it is September 23rd. We're speaking about law enforcement. Shout out to all the Libras. I give y'all woo. The scales definitely got to be balanced, and they definitely unbalanced in this situation.
And they're called the least protected. How? Because you're so fucking protected. Those officers went out of their way to bargain with you, to show you. You didn't even want to see. You didn't even give a fuck about your daughter. Even the officer had to make a comment. This is stupid. She's not even. Well, nobody talking about. I want your badge numbers. You know she was wrong. She can't breathe. Get in the medic. Of course, you have that fucking manly creature, the beast man or whatever the fuck it is.
It's atrocious, man.
It don't make no sense. Like the brother said, it's men and women who act like that. And I am so sick and tired of, I understand police brutality. I grew up before the camera phones, so the police used to do a lot of wrong shit to me.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I get tired of them using the most stupidest, ignorantest motherfuckers as the example for Black Lives Matter. Can we get some hardworking motherfuckers who get fucked with? Why always got to be some criminal or some asshole doing some stupid shit, and we got to raise the banner for them? I'm not on that. I can't do that.
You notice you hardly ever hear of hardworking folks. Like I'll tell you, Mackenzie Elliott, 3-year-old shot on her porch. I will say this. I don't give a fuck who hears it. If that would have been my child who got shot playing, doing what kids do, I'd have Frank Castled somebody's ass.
Exactly. Real talk.
I'd have been happily in jail.
That's a fact.
I don't give a fuck what it is. You leave kids to fuck, but you got two fucking homosexuals arguing over a piece of clothing that a 3-year-old lost her life, and nobody wants to say shit. Oh God! Thank God I got that parental advisory sign up there in that corner. It might have to stay there for a while.
Let me ask you a question as an officer. Do you think the powers that be use the most terrible examples of this police brutality in order to further create this race war situation?
Cool. You want me to go in about that one? Fuck yeah. Of course they do. Because number one, there's something in military science. Correct me if I'm wrong. I doubt I'm pretty much going to be wrong on this one. There's misdirection, and there's also misdirection, and there's deception. See, they use the deception that all these black people are getting killed by the cops. Statistically, white men are 5 times more likely to get killed by the police. I had to research this shit for myself for a paper. Okay? So, yes, it sucks because we have less people. We have a less population of black people. But yet, we'll still go by narratives that are not true. How many times have I said it? People will believe the sensational lie over the simplistic truth. But yet, these are the same motherfuckers that tell you, I love black men. Okay, if you do, how do you treat your boys? Our black boy, Dr. T.S.R. Johnson fucking put up what the fuck does a PhD who's a black man and a black father himself? I bet you he damn near wanted to throw his own goddamn computer and his textbooks out the goddamn window when you realize black boys, by the time they get to the 8th grade, only 10% can read on level.
That's true.
But yet, we're worried about, well, Black Lives Matter, not to black people.
Because
how the fuck is it? How the fuck is it that other people? How the fuck is it that every time you see a successful black man, it's either because of his father or is it because of other black men in the community raised them on their backs? Look at Kevin Durant thanking his mother. You the great MVP. The bitch put you in poverty.
Right.
She even had more children. The further put you in poverty.
But see, but you notice security officers, security guards, school teachers, they don't share that same narrative because they understand it's more the same philosophy of what we see there. People are upholding these kids and they are righteousness. When the teacher tell them your kid is a fuck up, he created dysfunction in the classroom. This is the reason why he can't learn. Oh, my baby wouldn't do that. Ooh, it's the same shit.
I've seen it.
This is the reason. I've seen it too. I picked up a busload of kids and they fall all the way to the red line, all the way to the train station. At some point, I'm like, I ain't even gonna keep on calling the police. I'm gonna let y'all fight back there. I ain't gonna be. Fuck that.
Yeah. I want Poetic Kells to come up there if she sees the link.
They ain't saying nothing.
Because
when you talk to a school teacher of any race, a white one ain't gonna say nothing about it. You talk to a school teacher of any race, they're gonna tell you that these kids are dysfunctional, and it starts at home with their parents allowing it.
Yeah.
I want Cocaine Kells. Not cocaine. I'm sorry. Fuck Cocaine Kells. But I want Poetic Kells. I want Poetic Kells to come up here. Because we're gonna have to get a woman's touch on this, so people can't say I'm being biased. Because Poetic was saying the same shit as we've been saying the whole time, and it's funny. Like she said it right here. How's a man gonna want to protect that? How? You won't even listen.
They do to the extreme, upholding them in their unrighteousness. They will kick your ass. I done seen women step on an old man's shoes just so he can say something about it, just so they can hit him, just so if he respond, the rest of the brothers gonna whip his ass. They ain't gonna say, "Hey sister, why you arguing with that grown man? He ain't did shit to you." They don't give a fuck. They gonna whoop your ass regardless. That's how it rolls. That's how it goes.
If Poetic doesn't mind, come up here, please. Because if one thing about my channel, we're all about the truth. We're about the truth.
One of the best things my mother ever did was move us out of the south side of Chicago in 1985 on my birthday. It's one of the best things she ever did.
Yeah, because if you go on a King, Dunbar, Finger, any of that bullshit, you gonna be fucked up because you're gonna be around some savages who parents allowed them to be. So it ain't like your mama could go to them and say and have a reasonable discussion with their mama. That's not gonna happen because they ain't never did.
What high school I was.
Bro, I told you I worked out there for it. They drove me away. Black women drove me away from a $35 an hour job, bro. That's the reason why I chose to make this money driving this truck. I can't work around. I can't work with them, bro. Bro, I already know, bro. I'm from the hood. I already know what you got to go through. I know what them kids got to go through when they trying to do something. Because it's not the kids per se, it's their mamas.
I'm gonna tell you what. I came with a very good observation and a hypothesis. If you would have gave all the kids to the fathers for the next 10 years, you wouldn't have anybody on the corners because the fathers would be swinging leather belts like nunchucks.
Exactly.
See, when you take the power and authority out of a black man's hands, you get destruction. See, I don't mind destruction. I like to quote a nice guy, this philosopher called Lord Beers. And he says, before creation must come destruction. Sometimes you got to destroy the old ways to become better. You got to become better, not because you want to, because you have to. You have a chick on here. When we were talking about policing, this chick tried to say the police were brutalizing her, which they didn't. The police were mistreating her, which they didn't. And I went to calls, just like you're a bus driver, police officer, civil servant. And you go into these calls and you look at this shit. And sometimes you got to tell a person, you do know you're the cause of your own, you're the accomplice of your own destruction.
Let me tell you something, Charles. Chicago is divided by ethnicity. So every street, certain streets got Mexicans on them, certain streets got white people on them, certain streets got black people on them. And they all go to their own, perfectly their own schools. So I was having this discussion at the garage one time with a sister. She was like, man, you just don't like black people. I said, oh yeah? I said, well, why every time it's time to pick our streets, because we pick our seniority and you pick before me, you always pick a Mexican school or a Mexican street or a white street? She looked at me, she said, you know what, you're right. So ain't no argument. See, they talk that bullshit when it's convenient. But that same chick ain't gonna want to come see you when you stay in the hood around that shit, because she gonna be like, it's too dangerous. Why you don't want to come over here and see me at my crib, baby? I thought black women act great. I thought everything was perfect. Oh, she want to be in a nice area. See, everybody say shit when it's convenient, but they don't want to talk the truth, the hardcore, ugly truth of the matter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it gets so bad. My ex-girlfriend told me, and I had the conversation before, because on this channel we like to be candid than a motherfucker. She had to tell me I was right about everything I used to tell her about black women, black men, black society, law enforcement. Why you always coming home tired? Because I'm drafted to work another 4 to 8 hours after my shift. When they went and her department started drafting her, she said, I'm so sorry. Now I understand.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you something else, Charles. When you look, you could get any newspaper or Google any apartment complexes around the Chicagoland area. Wherever that single mom stay at, you can move there without having good credit. You don't really need 3 times the rent. It ain't gonna cost as much. So when you want to move to somewhere where some middle class families stay at, where they mother and father in the house and all that shit, well, how much you make? You got to make 3 times the rent. You got to have good credit. You're gonna have a nice job and all that old shit, because it's a terrible place to live and send your kid to school wherever this single mom at. And that's just the fact. I'm sorry. That ain't what I'm saying. That's what the newspaper's saying with the editorials. When you look and see, find you somewhere to stay, and wherever that baby mama stay at, you can move your ass in there for a little or nothing. You want to move around some decent people who send their kids to school to get an education, you're gonna pay for that. That's just how they go.
But in the black community, like we said in the Great Faulkner Initiative, we have such a fucking adversarial view on the police. But yet, it's the police who actually holds this motherfucker together. It's the police who actually go out of their way to keep everything simple and sane. It's the police who got to take this fucking iniquity, who got to take all this fucking shit and hold this glue together. But yet, I get the same motherfuckers who be like, yo, black man shouldn't join the police.
That's the dumbest shit ever.
Black men shouldn't be in the fire department, shouldn't be in the military. A lot of us wouldn't be where the fuck we are today without those entities.
Plus, peep this. If we want to use the excuse that it's way more white officers and the black officers are under peer pressure by the white officers to conform to that reality, then how about let's level the playing field, and then we won't have that problem. But we don't think like that.
Because that's simple military science. Simple military science. Once again, simple military science. My God, my God, my God. Have you ever even noticed that we can't even get together without somebody stepping on our fucking toes, coming up in here saying, what about black men doing this? When black men act like that, we're usually getting the shit kicked out of us a shot.
Oh, you gonna get your ass kicked? Yep.
Yeah. So there's no comparison. I'd be damned if somebody come up here and try to fucking debate me on this shit.
I work for Chicago Public Schools, and I went through the same.
Oh, so you already know.
I went through the same shit. This brother with the look like a big ass catfish. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, that's a big one, brother. That's my second love besides martial arts.
Yeah, man. So I had to deal with these kids, man. You know what I did? I taught a computer class on the west side of a school called Delano. It ain't called that no more. They took that motherfucking shit. Rahm Emanuel shut that school down. But I told the kids to raise your hand, okay? Raise your hand if your mother and father is in the same house. I'll never forget this, right? This was about 2008. And the ones that raised their hands gave me the least problems in that class, in the whole school, brother.
Oh, I know it.
The ones that didn't have their hands raised was the hell raisers that gave me the most hell.
And they gonna challenge you on everything, up to and including violence.
And do you know they caught on? They were smart enough because they was like 7th, 6th grade, 8th grade. They had a aha moment. They was like, oh, I see what he's talking about. The whole classroom was quiet after they figured out what I was talking about. So, yeah, man, I'll never forget that shit, man. This shit, I wish I videotaped it.
They don't pay these teachers enough to teach black kids in the urban community where it's a single mama there. They ain't paying enough for that shit. So I can't blame them for not getting the proper education because it's like you only want to pay me $40,000. I gotta hope this motherfucker don't buck up against me and I gotta whoop his little ass or her little ass because the young girls are more aggressive and ignorant than the boys. Technically, they don't talk about that either. And if you work in public schools or if you're a security guard, a bus driver, police officer, you know that. Them little girls are way more disrespectful and way more combative than the gang banging ass boys.
Oh yeah.
And that's the truth.
And they know they got the gang bangers on their pocket. All they gotta do is make a call or duress, and they gonna have them gang bangers on deck. You know, as soon as they yell holler, you know, they gonna come and, you know what I'm saying, shoot up whoever, take care of whoever, and that's it.
Yep.
You know, it's rough, man. I to be honest with you, I told people on Facebook, man, I say, man, could you explain to me how you pay $800 a month for rent and be surrounded by poverty and crime when you just maybe pay $100 or $200 more and you don't really have to deal with that? Like
around that Chicagoland area, even the white broke people, what they gonna do is they gonna go and get an apartment somewhere where they could get their kid in a nice school district, maybe in the south suburbs, Thornwood or some shit like that. They ain't sending their kids in them ghetto ass schools. Yeah, they know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I asked them that, man. I got one chick that I used to work with, right? She pretty much is like a unicorn. So she, you know, I work in IT. So she worked with me when I worked at Abbott way up north. But yeah, man, I you know how much I pay for rent if somebody offered for me to live in an apartment in Chicago, like okay, let's just say, because there's some nice parts of Chicago, right? So it ain't all of Chicago. So let's say like Auburn Gresham or West Pullman or something. You know how much I would live if what I think the market rate of rent should be in those like really bad neighborhoods? I would pay $200 a month for a 2-bedroom, $100 a bedroom.
I stayed off the lakefront, And I was paying like $850, $900 a month to stay next to somebody who had Section 8, who ain't give a fuck. Had a boyfriend who want to fight with her all the time, smoke bud all night.
I bet you had to deal with roaches.
Nah, I ain't had that problem. I'd have been got my ass out of there. But they was loud and ignorant though. You know what I'm saying?
Did it smell like
in
fish
order for me
grease
to,
and chicken?
in order for me to have move away, I moved on the other side of Cicero off 95th in a nice part. But I had to pay upwards of $300-400 more a month. But I ain't give a fuck. Anything to get away from that shit.
Yeah, right.
And that lets you know how much the degrade of the black society has become. But yet, we don't want to put ourselves at the seat of power. We don't want to put ourselves at the seat of the table to make demands. You don't change police policy from the outside.
Chicago,
it's very rare.
Chicago got a black mayor. The Cook County president is black. It's the blackest democracy probably in America.
Yeah, the aldermen are black. Everything. It's a liberal place, a democratic spot.
Mm-hmm.
The whole giddy up.
And then you wonder, your black girls are sexually promiscuous,
out of control.
They're aggressive as the men, if not more so. But your boys are at the bottom of the list, educational, job wise. But they're the top when it comes to ignorance, when it comes to prison. But yet,
and homelessness too.
Yeah.
You look at them trains, them trains at nighttime, Charles, they filled with young black men riding back and forth, waiting till the morning where they can go over their homie house or their girl house because they ain't got nowhere to go. You don't see young ladies out there. I was saying that on another platform to a lady. She was like, I was like, well, which one would it be easier to survive? If I could stay at my mama's house and get my education on, it don't matter if I had 50, 11 babies. I can still make something of my life. It's kind of hard to do that when you're living on the street.
I saw a lady in the morning one time. I think one time when I was going to work, I used to work downtown. Like it was my only job I got downtown. And I saw a lady on the train with her kids sleeping in the morning. But yeah, it's a lot of homeless people in Chicago.
And they mostly black men, black boys and black men.
Yeah.
Because you're disposable. You're supposed to come to my rescue even when I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, it's a money problem in Chicago, man, too. I mean, you got a lot of people, man, that are struggling, man, that's doing all kind of stuff to survive. But I mean, I don't know. It's kind of rough. What you doing, Charles? You doing some home improvement?
A little bit, just doing a little bit of getting back in the front desk. Oh, it's a little noisy. I tell you, man, it's not getting any better. You're gonna have to prop these boys up in leadership positions, and I'm starting to believe they don't want them.
Well,
let me correct that. I've been there. They don't want them in those positions.
It's like okay, you got black people in power in the Cook County and in Chicago, but who they got to go to get the money, okay, or get funded, and who they got to please. I mean, you know, hello. Okay.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, damn, they got me. Because I'm talking too much inside shit. But they you know, black people, man, always talk about we got $1 trillion of wealth, but that's like having a hot dollar in the dice game. I mean, you going up against somebody with $20 with a hot dollar. Now I done seen people, man, come up in the dice game with a hot dollar and come up, but 9 times out of 10, you ain't gonna come up with that hot dollar, man. You know, so
yeah, that's true.
It's like we don't really have that much wealth. And then I found out just recently, the people that have most of that 1 trillion is not the average everyday black person. It's the richest black people, like, you know, the Robert Smiths, the Robert Johnsons, and all of them guys that's billionaires and millionaires. Like average
everyday individual just got a job, paying a mortgage, just barely getting by, paying their bills, taking care of their family. They ain't got a lot of money to really make that much of a change.
Yeah, plus, and then proximity a big problem too. What I mean by proximity is, if you notice in Chicago, that if you get 2 tickets, what happens to your car? It get a boot on it. Now all of a sudden you ain't got no license. So what does that force you to do? Now you eating out of them Arab on mini marts, overpriced bullshit that you eating every day. So you fucking up your money on bullshit.
Yeah.
It's hard for you to gain it. You ain't going to Sam's Club buying in bulk because you ain't living. You don't have no stability.
Yeah. You know what?
You see all those kids come to school with a bag of Cheetos with some cheese in it and some meat early in the morning. You're like, why you eating that in the morning? Because you don't got no stability.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you,
your mama wild.
Yeah, I'm speaking of Sam's Club. My cousin, his wife used to work at Sam's Club as like she used to sell memberships or whatever. She told me that she gave me some inside information. This blew my mind. LP and Foods right off 71st and State. Do you know where they get they merch from? A lot of they merch. Big ass truck pull into Sam's Club and get that shit, man, and bring it right back to LP and Foods.
Yeah, I mean, but the government allowing them to overinflate them prices, just like the guy outside of the liquor store, he's selling loose cigarettes, but he going to jail. He getting tickets for that shit. The Arab in the store selling the same loose cigarettes, he ain't going to jail to losing his business license and none of that shit. So they know what's going on. They just allowing that shit to happen.
Yeah. Well, you ain't gonna do nothing about low class in society. Low class in society is gonna be always. It's been low class before I was born. Before everybody on this panel was born. It's gonna always be low class. If you don't want to deal with that low class shit, it's like you said, brother. You had to pay that tax, and that tax costs you to make a little bit less amount of money. And hopefully you could change that with some moves or whatever, some trucking. But you had to move into a different neighborhood, pay more for rent and whatnot. You just got to pay that cost.
If you want some peace.
Yeah, because if you want to deal with that low class bullshit, you're gonna have to deal with all that. Because here's the thing, this is what tripped me out. And I used to be religious. I mean, I have an Arabian name or whatever. I mean, I've been around a lot of them. I was tripped out when I went way past 95th on Western, and I found out where they go to bed at night after they closed them shops. Tripped me out, man. And it's like, the funny thing is that, all these people, the Koreans, the Asians, the Indians, Pakistanis, when they close their shops up, they take that money, whatever. And do you know where they go to? They don't go
a nice crib.
Right. Well, not even just so much that. When they close up they shop, they not coming to go live around Negroes or niggas. Let's just say
that.
They going to live around white folks. Okay, so when I found out where the enclaves where they live, man, it kind of tripped me out a little bit, over there off 95th and I guess that would say
they getting stupid rich. You got to think about it. A chick going ever since been linked. That food stamps, ever since that's been in place, they'll take them little food stamps, $100 worth, and they'll give them $40, $50, and then keep the other 50.
Yeah,
them Arabs ain't that smart like that. They smart, but they ain't smart like that. They ain't laundering that money perfectly like that.
Man, I see
the government allowing them to do that sort of shit.
I had a computer shop on 79th and Eberhard back in 2009 because I didn't stay at CPS that long because I didn't tolerate a lot of that shit, and I told them motherfucking assistant principals and principals like it is. I said, y'all don't have control of this school. That's why these kids act the way they do. I didn't care because
I was spoiled. You know, I had my mama had money, and I already knew how to make money. So I didn't look at it like I need to keep this job and all this other shit. So I told him how I told him, but I got let go. Okay, laid off, and then I took that money and that I got from my pension, and I started a computer shop. I started a business. So I was near them Arabians or whatever, and I saw one of them in the Family Dollar across the street on 79th. He had a big old cart full of grocery items or whatever, and he just did he put his finger over his lip, like basically be quiet because he knew I knew what was going on.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I drove the 79th Street bus for a number of years.
Yeah, he was buying, he was getting them stamps and getting his merch up to bring over to his store, but I ain't here.
Yeah, they buy outdated goods. They buy outdated goods and sell them in their store.
Here's the thing. I'm a capitalist, right? I'm a different. I would say I'm an equitable capitalist or a responsible, environmentally friendly capitalist, right? So I can't fault a person and how he make his dollar. As long as he ain't put no knife to nobody's throat, no gun, he ain't, sticking nobody up. This person, he taking advantage of a situation just like any other person that's in this capitalistic country and society. He trying to make, take 50 cents to make it $1. Okay. I do the same thing, just a little different, but I can't fault nobody as a capitalist. I can't fault nobody for how they make.
I do because I see what they're doing. They're extorting black women because of proximity.
But black people
don't nobody else is.
Black people. I know pimps. I used to go to my I worked with my mother on the west side, same school. She was a social worker. I was a computer teacher or whatever. I used to pass by Bishop Don Magic Wine on my way to work. Like, every other day he'd be out there. He's selling pussy, for
up and down Madison.
Yeah, black women with that. A lot of them had kids that would go to my school and they own heroin and selling pussy on the side for a pimp. And then the kids so hungry they rely on the school for their meals. You know what I'm saying? I saw all this low grade shit that make you wanna when you get off.
Hey, look here. Let me tell you something, bro. They still doing that right now. Like I know a couple of people who yellow bus drivers, pick up students and shit. They ain't picking up students. They just running around them routes and giving away lunches. Because a lot of them kids need them lunches because their mamas ain't juggling that money right.
I mean, I've seen all this shit and I determined to the point where I really didn't get a chance to say too much, but it's to the point where we really need group homes or really residential facilities, or they used to call them boarding schools. They have a lot of them in Europe. That's what we need now because these parents, they got the babies already. Okay, they really shouldn't have never even had them, but they here and they really just need to be taken away and put in boarding schools. So they could have a better environment, so they could be raised and also taught at the same time because it's that fucking bad, unfortunately.
It is that bad. I used to give away so much money every day. I said, man, I can't keep doing this. I'm giving away $25, $30 a day to these kids because they hungry.
Yeah, and then in the tripped out thing that I ever saw, because a lot of them niggas over there selling dope on the west side.
On the west side, yeah, they still getting it popping over there.
I mean, they, like I say, I mean, it's the underworld, but it's still capitalism. But I was thinking to myself, standing outside watching the kids go, walk home from school, teacher to go take a shit in the bathroom. And I thought about it. I'm like, well, a dope dealer, he can't take his kid to Mother Macaulay or a Catholic school and drop his kids off really because they got to be low key with it. So he dropping his kids off at this school because it's right down the street from where he work. Because a dope dealer can't escape the hood. He only can live outside the hood, but his job is in the hood.
That's how he make his money. So I just that's how I looked at it. But yeah, I saw some tripped out shit that I've never seen, man.
I mean, you'll see Great America lines full of them white folks coming down there to get that dope down there on the west side.
Yeah.
It's a whole other atmosphere from the south side.
Yeah, I was going to on my lunch break. I was going to go get me a little meal or whatever out of this little Pakistani joint, and he let the dope boys stand outside his store. I mean his restaurant, and I saw the little white boys coming off the blue line, I believe, or one of them about
they either riding that blue line or the 290.
Yeah, they was coming off the blue line, and the dope boy was like, "Man, I need to see your wrist." And they had the little track marks and shit like that on their wrists or whatever. I was like, God damn, this is some, I grew up in Dalton, man, back in the 90s. I ain't see no shit like this. When working in this school, working on this west side, not, being away from the city so long, seeing all this shit. When I got off work, man, I used to want to, goddamn it, and I didn't even drink then. I wanted to drink, I wanted to smoke, I wanted to numb my pain from all of this shit I had to deal with every day and the shit I seen. You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy, man.
Yeah, it is crazy. If you grew up in Dalton, see, I know the whole city and the suburbs, so that means you went somewhere to Thornridge, some goddamn way. You wasn't out there. You ain't have to see none of that bullshit.
No,
I was in the ghetto. I was off Cottage Grove.
I didn't see nobody smoke crack till my sister, because she liked that low grade shit. So she wanted to get Section 8 and all that. So she was living on the west side. And I would come over there, and then I was walking upstairs one day, and my aunt and uncle was visiting from out of town, and I saw a crackhead smoking up under the stairs. That was the first time I ever saw a fucking crackhead smoking crack, other than watching it on the TV screen somewhere or whatever. I mean, I was away from a lot of that shit. Not saying it wasn't motherfucking crackheads in Dalton in the 90s, but I mean, it just wasn't. They wasn't out there like that. If
they were still working class kind of people. They still had jobs, because you wasn't gonna stay out there in the 90s, because they didn't bring Section 8 out there to the late 90s. That's when it got all fucked up. Once they started letting all them baby mamas come out there with them ignorant ass kids, that's when they fucked up. Now Dalton like the ghetto. What's that, Sibley? Sibley, you can get your ass shot on Sibley. Yeah, you can get your issue on Sibley all over the suburbs now. Ain't no more suburbs.
Yeah,
suburbs run far now.
My friend worked at a nursing home in Dalton. I went over there to pick up some money. He owed me some money or whatever. And I swear for God, man, I'll never forget this shit too. This just happened about a month or two ago. This dude, I don't know if he was high or what was going on. He was just driving around in a car, hitting cars like he was playing bumper cars. I called the police, and they came out, and they ain't get no reports of nobody hitting no car. He went in the parking lot of the nursing home where they got the little van where they deliver, the patients to their doctor's appointments and stuff. He smacked, ran into that car and then drove away and was laughing. And my friend, I thought he knew the dude at first or something. Man, let me get in your car. And then I drove off, and then I seen dude go down the street again, and my friend thought he was gonna get his car hit. So I was like, man, that shit was crazy, man. I ain't never seen nothing like that.
Because them kids doing different diabolical drugs that wasn't affordable.
Oh yeah,
earlier, like Molly's and ecstasy and all that old shit. You got kids going to school doing shit that we weren't doing when we was in high school. I mean, you might smoke a joint or something, but you ain't, or a blunt or something, but you ain't out there. Let's pop a pill before we go to school. I hear all sorts of crazy shit out from kids.
I smoke weed. I drunk. I got high in high school. I smoked weed. We drunk. I that irk and jerk or whatever. But I ain't never popped no pill shit before
you go to school. Them kids be doing all that now.
Yeah.
They drink some lean before they go to school. All that.
Yeah. That shit crazy.
But
all right, fellas. Last thoughts.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's you know, you gotta stop. I don't know, man. I can't say that, man. But if you gonna fuck with these crazy bitches, just cut them off after you done used them. Shit. That's all I can say.
My last thoughts is we need more black officers on the force. We need them to be trained a lot better, and we also need to uphold ourselves to our own unrighteousness as well as we hold the police to their unrighteousness. Because if we don't, we ain't going nowhere like that.
Now, facts. Thank you and good night. Ooh.